This is a game between two legends, Polgar and Kasparov. Now, I'm a big Polgar fan. I'm not a huge Kasparov fan. To each their own. Her peak rating was 2735. I think she was top 6 in the FIDE list, which is incredible. Super GM. She was just a Super GM. So you know all those titles like WGM, WIM, WFM. I mean, I wonder what her take on that was, because she didn't even enter like women's tournaments or play for like a women title, because she liked just going into the open section and crushing all the dudes, as she should. I mean, that's excellent. She's one of the greatest attacking chess players of all time. And I don't know if those WGM comment I made is going to get hate. I mean, you're either a GM or you're not. I play these famous WGM streamers online and they get dismantled. It's like playing a 16 or an 1800. I mean, no hate, but it's not a real title. So that might be a hot take. But this game was played in Moscow, 2002. I welcome any and all hate, as always. Let's get into it. We get pawn to e4, knight f3, knight c6, Spanish, Berlin. Okay, let's see. What are we going to get? We get knight takes e4, the main line, and now she strikes with d4. She was a very aggressive player. I mean, she beat Topalov, she beat Anand, Kasparov. She beat all the Karpov, all the greats. I mean, it's amazing. d4, knight d6, takes on e5. So we are going to get a queenless middle game, an imbalanced queenless middle game. What are the imbalances? Well, black has a bishop pair, but black can't castle. White has semi and overextended pawn. These doubled pawns are actually not bad. They're super solid. But black's knight is misplaced on f5 because the light squared bishop cannot get out. So, roughly in the balance. We get knight c3. This is all theory, by the way. Rook d1 check, king e8, h3. Okay, let's see. Bishop e7, knight e2. This is, I think, where we can start delving into it, where thought must begin. The knight on c3 is misplaced. There are no good routes for this knight, so why have it on c3, right? Improve your most misplaced piece. So it retreats. It can go to d4, f4, g3. We get knight h4. Reason being is they want to get their bishop out. So we get a knight trade, a fair knight trade, and then white connects the rooks. Keep in mind, black cannot castle. Easy for a computer to deal with, hard for a person to deal with. Okay, bishop to f5, aiming at a weakness. However, this is why the knight was rerouted. Knight to d4, guarding c2, attacking f5. Everything is fine. We are chilling. Now g4, an excellent move. The point is, and c5 could never really be played because knight b5, you don't want to try to win a piece and end up losing a exchange, right? Quick math. But g4 also, you can go knight f5, and these would be great attacking pawns that would kind of cramp black up. So g4 is a multi-purpose move. Okay, he retreats the bishop to e7, improving it. Logical, we get king g2. King's the best piece in the endgame. Easy for white to improve. Hard here for black to improve. h5, trying to open up the h-file. Now we get knight f5, post it up. Bishop to f8. I mean, that is just... It's not appealing to the eye, black's position. The bishop is just guarding a g7 pawn. What are these bishops doing? Clogging in the rook. King f3, improving the king. And now white is going to double up on the d-file. Okay, black opens up the h-file, gives a spite check, forcing the king back, and then we get rook to h7. So now rather than the bishop doing the job of just guarding a singular pawn, we have the rook replacing the bishop's job, just guarding one singular pawn. That is not an active piece. You see, white's pieces are active, so black's pieces in turn are tied down. Hard to play the latter. King g3, improving the king's placement, and f6. Do not take this pawn, because if you take this pawn, black's position can wake up, and all of a sudden we could get a game on our hands. We do not want that. Bishop f4. Yes, it defends the pawn. We get an exchange, another exchange, but don't take back with the bishop. Pin the king. This is not easy for black to play. You go bishop to d6, okay? Bishop takes, and bishop does not take back, because that would be very scary. For example, bishop takes bishop, rook takes check. We get king f7, rook d7 check. King cannot go to f6 because this check. So let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. King to g4 first, actually. Improve the king. Yes, yes, yes. Because rook to d7 check now if king f6 mate. That is what I meant. I recorded this video, but I didn't hit record, so I'm redoing it now. Happens all the time. And if the king goes back, let's say, you just trade rooks. They might take with check, king g5, active king. Now king takes rook, and you check them back to the 8th rank. This is just no good for them. There's many things you could do here. I'd probably start with taking this guy. They're going to be trapped on the 8th rank. Hard for black to play. So in the game, he leaves the pin, entering another pin. So she exploits the pin, right? Super logical. So this induces black to play c5, but now she creates a backwards pawn. That is a weakness that she will build up on by going rook to e6. And that also takes away rook h6, because now rook takes check, and you're going to win another pawn, entering a winning rook endgame. All these will enter winning rook endgames. So instead, black goes for activity. Too little, too late. They double up on the h file. She targets a weakness that is c5. He gives a check, another check, but she's going to hide or be a savage and go towards the center of the board. She chooses the latter. She was a savage. Pawn b6. Kasparov guards his biggest weakness. We get a check. And have you guys ever had these positions where your opponent gets 2 rooks on the 7th? It's not fun. You keep moving your king, trying to avoid ladder mates. Too little, too late at that point. She guards the f2 pawn and then just chucks the f pawn because she has 2. She doesn't need it because this is just the end of the game. King a8, you take with check. So he goes king c8, check. Point of the check is to make the king go far away so that now you threaten ladder mate because he's not attacking the rook. So he tries to attack the rook, but she picks up another pawn, recreating the threat of ladder mate. In this position, he resigned. Why? Well, because if king b8, for example, you can go here, threatening a rook trade, and this would be a winning endgame. Because not only do you have the pawn side majority on the queen side, you also have a passed f pawn that is defended by the rook, so he can't even get to the other pawns. So this was just an excellent, flawless game, honestly. Look up the touch move rule that he violated in a classical game. I'm curious to know if you guys know about it. Send any hate my way if you didn't like my opinions. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.